Well, I've cut the pieces to length for the dolly frame now, but I've got a bunch of half lap joints on there to cut, and I could route them, I suppose, but that would mean going and digging out a router bit that would work. I've got some bearing guided bits, but they're only 20mm long, so it's going to be a bit of a pain. I'd have to find something fairly thin for them to follow on, and oh god, it was getting difficult. So I decided instead to try trench cutting with the circular saw, with the miter saw. Now the miter saw is lovely. I really like that saw. Yes, I would prefer a Capex if anybody wants to buy me one, but that's a nice saw. It's good and accurate and robust. You know, I haven't dropped it, but I have heard stories of people dropping them and they're still spot on accurate. And I could believe it. It's a proper piece of kit. But it does have one slight problem, and that is the trench cutting adjuster is complete and utter rubbish. I mean, you would struggle to design something worse than this. So you've got to be careful when you're trench cutting, and setup is a bit of a pain as well. I mean, I only needed 3 goes to get this set up, and as you can see, this section here is spot on my line. This section's slightly raised because I just had it up against the fence, and of course when you're trench cutting, the blade doesn't go all the way to the end. You need to chock this side. Right, so my first trench is taking this section off here. No hands. The perfect joint holds itself.
Shall we call Mummy a potato?
Yes, let's call Mummy a potato.
Oh, because it wants to be a potato.
Why not? Asking you to be a potato, just calling you a potato.
Good thinking.
Potato!
Well, I got the dolly frame in there, just by tipping the scaffold back, I chopped up each leg with about 100 ml of wood, so just a couple of offcuts of the wood I've been using to build it. I was quite pleased to see that even tipped on its long edge, one foot or one side raised 100 ml, it didn't feel like it was about to go over. I reckon you could probably tip it 150 ml with the platform here and it still wouldn't tip. So that's pretty good, that gives me a little bit of confidence. Anyway, then I showed a bit of my manliness and I picked up one end of the frame and got the wife to stick the chocks into the wheels, chocks for the dolly frame, and here we go. The scaffold moves. All on its own, and I would say, so that's going to be easy to put that away at the end of the night. Get this bit of wood out of the way so we don't keep hitting it. But yeah, it's, I'm not sure I'd drive it over any big holes. There's a bit of a dip here, there's an old fireplace hearth, and it's in fairly bad shape. So I think we need to be a bit careful with the wheels around there. But other than that, I'd say that is pretty good to go. I can move that on my own pretty easily. Oops. I use it as a battering ram. Okay, maybe we shouldn't use it as a battering ram. Yay! I'm not going to climb it with the wheels though. I don't think it would move, but I'm not sure the wheels can take that much extra weight. But yes, that means I can now get this into position without too much difficulty. And if I had a bottle jack or something like that, something to lift it up with, I could probably actually raise it myself. Basically, the problem is I can lift it, but I have to lift it from out here, like this. And that means I can't put the chocks in as well. I need the wife to do that, which is a bit irritating. I really need to find some way of lifting this on my own. Winner! One of the issues that I had with this platform design was locking it onto the rails so that it couldn't basically slip out of the rails while I was working. And I don't know if you remember from a previous video, as I did a test climb, I nudged it with my beer belly, and the platform actually slipped, 20 mil or so, which, that's not too bad. I've got about 120 mil here before it would become a problem that the platform had slipped. But obviously I don't want the platform slipping. It's not going to slip. Once you're up there, I would say it's very unlikely it's going to slip. Just simply the weight of you standing on it is going to mean that the friction in here is enough to stop the platform ever moving. So what I needed was some sort of mechanism to lock the platform in. Now, on the original plan, I had a single piece of wood stretching across here. Just a piece of 50 by 50 just screwed in, and then at the other end the idea was that it would be removable, and that would allow you to pull the platform out, move it up, and just reattach it, and that would stop it coming out. That was all well and good on paper, but in reality the platform turns out to be much too heavy for that sort of messing about, and now the idea is that if I do need to raise and lower the platform, I'll do it from inside the scaffold, and I'll walk it up the rungs, and that. So the piece of wood running along here, locking the scaffolding, locking the platform in place, would mean that both would have to be removable. Now, I already had a problem with removing one of them. I wanted this to be something that I could just get in and get out, get down off the scaffold, walk it up a rung, and I was done, just lock it back in. And so with that in mind, I've designed this locking mechanism. And all it is a couple of bolts and a P-shaped piece of wood. And you can see here I've already drilled the holes necessary for it. And all you do, you slide that in there, just push that home. Right, so this bolt acts as a pivot for this locking mechanism. Now, as it is at the minute, if I was to push the platform in this direction, all that would happen is the platform would just push this up out of the way. So it's not providing much in the way of a lock. But if I put that bolt in there, then when I push the platform, this pushes against that bolt and locks that in tight. And that platform now, there's no way I can push that platform off. And all I'll do is repeat this. I don't know how many of these to put in. I mean, this one on its own is way more than strong enough to hold this in place. But I think I'll probably put one on here as well. Just belt and braces this. Because this didn't take long to make. I mean, there's 5 minutes work in that, and then a couple of holes, and you're done. And obviously I'll have one of these lock nut on the back. Nylock, that's it, on the back, and so this doesn't come loose, and this one will just be just left loose enough that I can move that by hand. And then the great thing is I've positioned that such that I can pull that out and lift it up like that, and then that's flush, or it's actually slightly recessed under there. So these will then stay out of the way. So as I'm lifting the platform, I don't have to worry about these catching on the rung as it goes up, because that would be bad. I mean, the last thing you want is a bloody great platform over you, like, and it's got caught. You're just liable to drop the platform on yourself. So lift that up out of the way quite easily, and Bob's your uncle.